I mean, most of your campaigns is around cutting the costs of governance. And I want to tell you that the problem of this country is beyond just cutting the cost of governance. The problem of this country is beyond reducing the cost of governance. I'm not saying that is deceptive. I'm not saying it's pretentious, but I'm telling you that it is less than 1% of our national problem. Beyond cutting the cost of governance, and I want to say that cutting the cost of governance, you don't need to be a president to cut the cost of governance. If you have a very effective Minister of Finance, you have a very effective Minister of Budget and Planning, you have a very effective CBN governor, you can cut governance. You have a very effective chairman of the economic team. You can cut governance with the cooperation of a president. But I want to say that that is not our major problem today in this country. What we need today in Nigeria is to unify this country. Nigeria has never been this divided in our national history. Not even during the Civil War are we this divided. There is no trust between the North and the South. There is no trust between the East and the North. There is no trust between the West and the South and the Southeast. So we need one character who have the capacity and capability to unite us together as a nation first. Because we need to first believe in ourselves as people. We need to believe in our unity. We need to believe in our togetherness, even before we can make progress. Because without unity, there can be no peace. And without peace, there can be no development. So first, we need a unifier. Who can unify this country? Today, I want to ask sincerely, Peter Obi and his supporters. Can Peter Obi be trusted by a typical Katsina man or somebody from the northern part of this country? Can he be trusted as an Igbo man by Middle Belters, by core northerners? The answer, in every sincerity of purpose of heart and commitment, is no. So we need one Nigeria who is going to be trusted by every part of this country, who the North will believe in, who the South will believe in. And that person, without blinking my eyes, is Atiku Abubakar, who, when it was dangerous for any leader to talk about the issue of devolution of powers, when it was dangerous for any leader to talk about the issue of restructuring, he did, with every boldness in him. The truth of the matter is, we need a unifier. We need one Nigerian that can solve the problem of insecurity in this country. We need a Nigerian that will have intel from every security facet of our national life. We need a Nigerian that will get intel from Cameroon, from Chad, from Mali, from Benin. We need a Nigerian that have that capacity to solve the problem of Boko Haram, banditry, and kidnapping, because he has intel and connection with the security network in the South African region. And that's Nigerian today. It's Atiku Abubakar.
All right, welcome back. It's still Road to 2023 on SYMFONI. You heard Senator Dino Melaye, former senator representing Kogi West, and now a very close ally of the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, sharing his thoughts on the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi, and of course, the PDP presidential candidate. Summary of what he said: Peter Obi is cerebral, he is intellectually sagacious, he can cut costs. But Nigerians, I don't know, maybe represented by himself, don't need somebody who will come to cut costs. Rather, Nigerians want somebody who is a unifier, and that he believes is a candidate of the People's Democratic Party. For a lot of persons, there have been so much reaction trailing that video on his Facebook page. Those who have said, well, he's not being fair to the candidate of the Labour Party. Why some have said, if you admit that he's cerebral, that he's intellectually sagacious, that he can cut costs, he knows how to manage, Why again do you say he should wait for his time? When exactly is his time? That's been the argument and for a lot of persons. Let me start with Honorable. Honorable, I don't know, but listening to that video, when you admit that somebody is very intelligent, somebody is a good manager, he can manage resources, but he should wait for his time because you believe somebody else will need a unifier as against a proper manager.
Well, I could say that in that video, that Senator Dino Melaye spent almost 70% of his time campaigning for P2B. I'm sure he did that because Senator Dino Melaye is being followed by so many fans, and I think on the last record, on maybe he's one of the Nigerians that has the greatest following, and I'm pretty sure that he tried to balance his views with that of his followers, because majority of the people who follow him um, are supporting P2B. So he had to balance his this and as somebody who is because having explained all those all those qualities that he saw in P2B. What else are you looking for? In my place, they will say that if you say somebody is too fine, after saying that somebody is too fine, so okay, go and carry water and wash your body. So it's just that other side to it is to just have. He ended up campaigning for P2B, and I can say strongly that God's time is the time. God's time is the time. At any time God has appointed that a leader will emerge, that the people will come, there's nothing anybody can do about it. You see, in the Bible, Joseph, his brothers ganged up and sold him to Egypt. And eventually he went there and became a prime minister. If they didn't do that, I'm sure in the ranks of PDP and all the rest of them, there will be a lot of regrets in terms of had I know, had I know, had I know. Because the way it is today, Peter is already the crowned president of the masses of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. When Dino mentioned issue of the average, how would the average Casina man, the average, I spoke to some friends from Casina today, people who are there rooting for her. The greatest unifier in this country today is hunger, poverty. In a country of about 100 and something million, over 100 million people are in the poverty range. So, meaning that majority of Nigerians are poor. So, the only common unifier, the only common thing unifying Nigerians is poverty. And today, what is it that can address this poverty? It's basically why people are clamoring that P2B should come up and take the mantle of leadership in this at this point in time. So, if the economy were to be good, doing well, if the universities 140 days, the NMPC stopped remitting, the oil production is almost at a very low point, the power, all the things have failed. What we need is somebody who can come and reconstruct all this. These are the basic challenges and basic problems facing us. So the issue of unification, the way he sees it, that the only way you unify is by marriage. Whether those marriages are working or they're not working is another thing altogether. Because some people marry today, the next day they're divorced, or in the families, you don't have a good relationship. So in his own views, that it is only through marriage that you unify people. That is not. Once you have a good leadership, people will follow. Nigerians know when you have a good leader and they will all follow. People were there in the creeks of the Niger Delta, breaking pipes, doing all sorts of things. Once the leader emerged, Alhaji Musa Yar'Adua, He invited them, everybody down tools, and they came out. He granted amnesty. Before you know it, the oil production came back to what it used to be. Is he not from Katsina, the same place as the current president? But in the east, in the west, everywhere in the country, the man is still loved till tomorrow. May his great soul rest in peace. He's still loved. In fact, as I say, he's the only person that did the same kind of thing. In fact, it's like it was after him that Peter Obi copied. The same way Yaradua saved a lot of money in Katsina State was the same way that Peter Obi. So, and he's the kind of person that came a problem that looked very difficult through simple process of having self-discipline and being honest. He was able to address that issue of the Niger Delta crisis, and that crisis was more serious than the problems we have now, in the sense that that one is directly economic threatening. It was threatening the economy of the country, and he was able to resolve it. So meaning that the major problem, the bane of our problem is leadership. Once we have a good leader who is there, the country, everybody will build around, unify the country around the person. When we see that you don't have 5%, you don't have 90%, you don't have that, what you have is 100%. Everybody will follow. And then there will be no politics of exclusion, making sure that certain people are excluded from the Security Council, as the case may be. Once you see such a leader, Nigerians will learn to follow. And then you also need a president that will have a self-discipline. If you say, this is what I want to do, you will do it. Your private life and your public life will be the same.
All right,
and these are things that people have found in Peter.
Let's join Chris George is calling us from Ecuador. Chris? All right, let's hear you, Chris.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. I'm watching what Sir Honorable Senator said, Dino Melaye. Well, I congratulate him for saying that, but I want to ask you one question. Atiku is a unifier. Atiku is a devolution of power. Atiku is this. If I may ask, a country where security is not stable, a country where there's economic crisis, inflation increasing, the government just come out and tell us that Nigeria is stable, but we Nigerians know that Nigeria is not stable. So, in a country where there's insecurity and economic inflation, do we need a unifier, or do we need someone to balance the economic issue? Because what makes people to commit crime is because of hunger. And I suggest an hungry man is an angry man. So this time around, what we need a person that can balance the economic situation, because when everyone feels good, something will be normal. Two, I want to ask you a question. The major issue Nigeria is facing today is the central power that is in Abuja. If Atiku have opportunity to become a president today, Atiku going to decentralize that power and everyone to return to autonomous government, which is what? Regional government. Atiku, is he going to do that? That's the only issue we have in Nigeria, that power in Abuja. Will Atiku decentralize that power? And the central government will not have permanent power over the regional government. So that's my question I want to ask. And two, let me throw more factor on APC government. You see, I want to tell Nigerian youth, because these politicians are not there for our interest. They are there for their own selfish interest, their own pocket. Because I can remember when President Buhari campaigning for restructuring Nigeria. Today, Nigeria is not practicing federation rather than practicing unitary government. Buhari regime is totally unitary government. So this issue of APC is the worst government Nigeria has ever had. APC campaigning that the major issue for Nigeria to be stable, for them to remove Goodluck Jonathan in power. I can remember what Asuwaju told Nigerian people in Lagos State. So I don't see any reasonable Nigerian youth to vote APC in government again. Any Nigerian that is reasonable cannot even vote APC in a government, because this is the worst government we have in this country. And this is the worst government. That APC government is a dictator. It's a unitary government. It's not a federal government. It's not a church. It's a military government. No, there's no difference between APC government and Abacha government. So I want to tell Nigerian youth, let them choose wisely. Who will balance Nigerian issue? Who will lead Nigerian economic stability? Because the major issue we are facing today in Nigeria, why there's bandits, unknown gunmen, Ansaru, all types of security issue, is because of what? Hunger in Nigeria, economic crisis, inflation. That's what make people to commit crime, because when you can't find something to eat, you will take another option. So I guess my case now for further the thoughts. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, Chris. You can still hang on the program and just follow us all through. You might also have an opportunity to join. Let's take, just to let you know that it's Road to 2023, and Honorable Jeff Ojinika has been my guest on the program. And I've had Fidelis Imba, international journalist and multimedia expert, join us virtually, as well as Emmanuel Ado, a public affairs analyst. Have some messages here. Okay, Sharon, Obi is not overrated, he is underrated. Negro Pop, okay. And then Okieto asks PDP and APC about the burning of INEC office. Eyere Samson, greetings from Panama. Thank you very much, Eyere Samson. We're also extending our own greetings. And John Oke, I believe in obedient Obi. Kirian, Dino Melaye, why you? Why have you stooped so low? I used to respect this guy. John Oke, Dino Melaye, over 8 years in government, tell me what you and your party have achieved. Okay? And then Nkem Blessing, my man, Obi, by his grace, you will win. Okay? You can always call in on the program and share your thoughts, or comments, observations on Road to 2023 on SYMFONI. You can also kindly like, comment, share, and subscribe to SYMFONI. All right, Honorable, let's look at, okay, one of my message came in. Ejikeme Ibe, hunger is the unifier, not Atiku. I beg. See as hunger, the fire all our belly. Okay, this one is almost echoing what the Honorable said. Honorable, but there is something that he said. Let's look at it. Let's interrogate it. He said that a typical Castina man, by representation, or if you like your extrapolation, a typical Northerner or Northwest person, let me just narrow it that way, will not vote P2B. Do you think so?
I don't think so. In fact, he stood so low in that statement. I don't think so. He said that there is a kind of credibility deficit. You know, that means they're trying to widen the gulf in terms of maybe let him know. And it's important that Nigerians know Obi's aspiration to be the president of Nigeria is not as a result of where he comes from. It's not as a result of his religion. It's not as a result of his social standing in the society, but it is as a result of his person and personality. He has been in office. He has proven that some of the things he said he would transfer and he would do in the country, that such things are doable. So many people will come now and claim that they can do this. It's easy to talk. But in his own case, he has been able to walk the talk. The things he said he's going to do, are things that he has done at a lower level that he now wants to do at a higher level. And the confidence the people have in him today is not as a result of his religion, it's not as a result of where he comes from, but as a result of the person, who he is. So that is why it's important for Dino and some other people who may reason like that. Like if you are listening to the comments of the former governor of Kano State yesterday night, Kwankwaso, and the presidential candidate of NNMP, he was also talking of northern voters, What you have is Nigerian voters. You don't have, even in the Katsina, he's saying, there are a good number of Igbos in Katsina. There are a good number of Christians in Katsina. So it's not, I don't know what you mean by a typical Katsina person. So is it a typical person that is above average? So I think that Peter Obi's, aspiration is not based on ethnicity. It's not based on religion. It's not based on sex. It's not based on social standing. But it's based on his strength of character, who he is. If you say, I will do this in terms of discipline, in terms of cutting costs, he has the ability to do that. And he has a very good knowledge. He's one of the people that has had, if you go through his profile, all the trainings, all the workshops, all the programs he has been a student through so many professors, the best in the world. And that tells you somebody who is also willing, and he has a humility. He can listen, he can take advice, and he has a capacity also to attract a good number of intellectuals to also work with him, because those intellectuals will not work with somebody who cannot listen. So that's why it's all those things that it is the platform. Assuming that Peter was running as somebody from as an Igbo man or somebody from Southeast, then what Dino said can hold water. But Peter is not running on that platform.
Let's take Engineer Francis Nweke.
Good evening, sir.
Evening. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, can you hear me, please?
I can hear you very clear.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me in, sir. I've been watching your program for quite some time now, and I really want to appreciate what you are doing. I think you guys in your platform, in this micro platforms we are having here and there, I think it's a way forward, because one of our problems, I think, in Nigeria is that our media is more or less dead to me, because what you guys are doing, actually bringing people together, having this conversation, should have been what the so-called mainstream media in Nigeria should have been doing, asking critical questions, trying to know what the politicians will do for us. But unfortunately, it takes people like you guys to bring up such kind of community together to talk about this. I really thank you for that. If we want to talk about Nigerian politics, I think no matter how we slice it, I think we are all in this together. If people are poor, I mean poor, like in Africa, in Nigeria in particular, it is difficult for someone in that state of poverty to really think things through. Peter Obi, I think, in my view, is a fine candidate who can at least kickstart the fixing of Nigeria. An average Nigerian knows this. Most of our politicians know this. The elite knows this. But just that we are somehow programmed to believe, or some of us are somehow programmed to believe that he cannot. It is not his turn. We don't have the number. But an average Nigeria, if you ask an average Nigerian what he or she wants, it is good roads, hospitals, schools, and from what I've watched or what I've read so far, only Peter Obi has at least talked about the issues facing Nigeria. In my view, let's not even try to talk about his past record. And this idea of go and verify, we see a lot of people seem to take it very lightly, but no politician, I've never heard from any politicians who, after they served and retired are telling Nigerians, go and verify what I did. They are good at talking, I will do this, I will do that. But at the end of their tenure, for example, the former governor of Lagos State, Tinubu, he is not even sure how old he is. He's not even courageous enough to tell Nigerians how old he is. He's not even courageous to tell Nigeria which school he went to. These are the big, and we Nigerians, and it baffles me that some of us are still even working, struggling to make sure that he comes to power. Sometimes if I discuss with Nigerian students who are on strike for the past 5 to 6 months now, some of them are still talking about Atiku and PDP. I ask myself, how can you, after all what they've done to you, you still want to vote them in? But I've come to realize that there is a way someone will be poor, so poor that he doesn't even know what to do. He just moves on with life. Anything goes. I think we have to really ask ourselves as Nigerians, what do we want? I pity most of us, to be frank. That's why even if I see those guys who are still vying to bring in these old politicians, I pity them because I believe most of them don't even understand what they are doing. So in our part, as Nigerians who might be hoping that somebody who is going to come will change Nigeria, we have to really sympathize with those guys, try to explain to them the need to vote for a better candidate. Like, if people should watch your platform, they might think it is Peter Obi's platform. No, because I've seen a lot of people, I've heard them or watched them talking about all their candidates. But in my own judgment, I think Peter Obi will at least help Nigerians to some extent. Just the fact that he hasn't even resumed office yet, but we can see the consciousness of the youth, of Nigerians in general, to take part in the political process just because of him. Then could you imagine what he might unleash when he gets there?
Because there have been quite a number of persons who dismiss him because he's structureless, and they keep on arguing that he can't win even 5% in the north. I don't know. These are some of the issues that make us ask this question: is he underrated or overrated?
Everybody believe. For now, Peter is underrated in the sense that the real movement has not started. People, as of now, people are still saying, "Oh, it's a matter of online tigers, the online tigers." So people will really want these things possibly demonstrated on the roads. And people have come out now to vote, to register as a result of him. But people are believing that as people are trooping out to register, you don't know who they will vote. So you cannot really conclude conclusively that it is as a result of him. So we're waiting that in the days to come by, that we'll get the slips rolling and the campaigns will start. By then, the reality of the situation will come on a whole lot of, especially people who have a Miloko mentality. It is my turn mentality. Those people will come to see that it is not really their turn, and that Nigeria is not turn by turn Nigeria limited. That Nigeria, they want to convert to the country to Emiloko Olodumare. That it is a situation where this person takes on, the next person takes on, whether what they are turning is whether they are turning field or bad governance. They are not interested. So right now, the country is faced with a whole lot of problems. I'm sure the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria today, who is sitting on these problems, knows the enormity of the problems. And he knows in all this, who and who of all these people will have, at least if not for anything, one, the personal discipline. And then somebody, for you also to achieve this, you will also need to mobilize Nigerians. You also need to mobilize the youth, especially the active youth population. to be able to achieve a whole lot in this regard. And that person, as of now, he's no other person than Mr. P2P. He has everything going for him. He's intellectually sound. He's youthful. He's very strong, and I'm sure.
Honorable, let's take this call. Cocoa Butter, where are you calling from?
Hello, I'm calling from Ghana.
All right. Okay, Cocoa Butter calling from Ghana. Let's hear you.
My contribution to the program is I beg people not to accept anything vice president, because the person that is going to work with him as that is giving him the position of the vice president. When you look at the work Peter Obi did in Anambra State, you will see that it is far better than what one person has done in Kano State. So Peter Obi accepting vice president is bringing himself down to it, because Peter Obi has a very good record. Because as the way you said that, always he will tell you that you go and verify. And whenever you go to verify, all what he's saying is the truth. Because today I saw a document from the Anambra State government that they have reported about the land people at the housing estate or something. He rejected it, and he said that he doesn't need it because he has where he is living. This shows good leadership. Where can you get that kind of person that has those kind of leadership qualities in any politician in Nigeria? So my suggestion is I pray that people should not fall for the one person. And the way Galadima was in the past years, he was supporting Buhari, and now he see that Buhari was not doing anything good. He run to come and now he's following another northern country. I'm not against anybody from the north to be a president. What has the north done since they have been president in Nigeria? So why don't they allow it to be there? So I see it as I thank you for giving me the chance to speak, and may God bless you.
Thank you very much, Cocoa Butter, who joined us from Ghana. I appreciate your call. There is something Dino also said, that economic management is 1%. As a matter of fact, least of Nigeria's problem.
No, Dino was not true to fact, in the sense that he knows that basically, even from the law of dialectical materialism, that the fundamental determinism is the economy. It's the economy that determines the nature of even the government, the nature of the families, the nature of religion, the nature of everything in any given society. So economy is key. It is called the law of economic determinism, as propounded by Karl Marx. It's a basic fundamental law. So, and I'm sure Dino is very much aware of that, because the kind of religion that the average people and the high and mighty, the way they are religious is not the same. So everything is determined by the economy. So basically, most of the problems we have today are basic economic problems. Basic economic. I try to explain that the people who are doing banditry, they are not enjoying it. I still maintain that the bandits are not enjoying their money. That was, and then the people who are doing they won't enjoy it, because the whole essence of enjoyment of your money is money you have. You have opportunity to go for holiday. You have opportunity to stay in luxury apartments, but they don't have all those luxury. When you go, you make money and you go and you live with animals in the bush. I think that's the best way to live. It's almost living at they're almost living at an animalistic level. I'm sure if given a better opportunity, they will not want to live that way. So I could say categorically that the basic problem we have in Nigeria is economic. And the only way we can solve that economic problem is through effective leadership, informed leadership. And that informed leadership is the leadership that Peter can provide to the country. So, and that is on the platform that Peter is running for this election. So he's not running as a result of coming from anywhere. It is this that we are confronted with this enormity of these problems. And how do we go about it?
All right, let's hear Kirian. Kirian, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening to you. Good evening, sir.
Evening, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Manchester, UK.
Manchester, UK. All right, let's hear you.
Basically, my few say is with regards to what Dino Melaye said about how an average casino man could trust somebody from southern Nigeria or somebody from southeast. And this is why I wrote earlier that I used to respect Dino Melaye a lot. He's the person I used to hold him very, very high as one of the people who speak for an average Nigerian. But then my question to him is, if he doesn't believe that an average northerner is supposed to trust somebody from any part of the South, whether it be East, South, East, South, South, wherever they are from, then why is it okay for someone from southern Nigeria to trust the casino man? Can you not see that there's no balance here? I mean, these people are the people who put us in the situation where we are today. And he should really be ashamed of himself to utter that kind of word. I'm sorry to use this kind of word, but I don't mean no disrespect for him, but I just think he didn't, he should have thought about his word carefully, especially given the fact that he's someone who a lot of people look up to. I mean, he can campaign for Atiku all he wants, but, saying that people from this region cannot trust people from the other region, but he expects people from the other region to trust people from the other region, that's not equality. I mean, if we are one, let us be one. That's the thing. And secondly, I do believe that Peter Obi's campaign or Peter Obi's movement is beyond the Igbo region, because the whole movement is about a better Nigeria. I mean, hunger doesn't know religion. Hunger doesn't know ethnicity. So poverty it doesn't know no boundary. I mean, imagine recently people were being kidnapped here and there from maybe train station alongside Kaduna Road from Abuja to Kaduna. The government is not doing anything. I mean, look at the way Nigerians are divided today. I'm not sure there have been any kind of division like this before, like he said. So we need someone that would be able to spend our money wisely. I mean, for me, I'm not expecting Obi to go there and perform miracles in the government, but at least let him be able to manage public funds with fear of God. Or let him be able to manage public funds wisely. I don't want to bring God into this, but let him be able to manage public funds with fear of the people that put him there. Not the kind of president that will sit in the office and spend public funds coming to treat himself in abroad when he's in a position to set up a good hospital in Nigeria, so that an average man who is in Nigeria that cannot take himself abroad will get a good treatment. I mean, we need a kind of president that will be able to build good roads for people, or a kind of president that will be able to remove this whole strike. Imagine students, young people's futures are being held to ransom because people are on strike. People don't go to school. For some of them their children are studying abroad in some of the best universities in the world. So they siphon people's money, send the money abroad, sponsor their own children, and then they leave an average man poor and hungry in Nigeria. And this is just not it. So I think regardless of where we come from, we should all put our differences aside and try to look for the best candidate
that we believe that will be able to do the job.
Honorable Jeff Ojinika, my member House of Reps, has joined me this evening on the program. Honorable, as we begin to wind down, a lot of persons once again have felt that the P2B is just a social media creation, that it will soon die down and they will have their way, they will have peace, and all this noise will end.
You see, what I think is that you discover that these days you don't see APC criticizing PDP or you see PDP criticizing APC. I think the whole thing has now shifted to each and every one of them now talking about Labour Party. So that means once people are talking about you, that means that you are in front and that you are doing well. So the only thing is that thing that you are doing, you try to do more of it. So Peter is running on ideas, and I think he should continue to run on ideas. His system of politicking is different from the other people. You criticize him. In fact, for a man whose time is here, I'm sure if one of the clerics once criticized him and called him stinginess, and before you know it, Nigerians are now clamoring that what they want is stinginess. And this one that Dino also tried to, you also see that it's almost like he's campaigning for him. So I think the grace is there for him, and he's very prepared, very ready. And this, the glorious thing about him is that his public life and private life, you can't differentiate them. Some people do, their public life will be different from the private life they live. So that by the time you you get to them privately, you see a different person from the person you see private. But in his own case, he has lived his life that way. And a lot of people have come to have confidence in him. So the people who have not trusted, the people that cannot go for him today are people that have weighed this country down. People who knows that the moment it comes that maybe all the ill-gotten wealth, all the things that they have, people who have something to fear. But for the average Nigerian who wants the schools to come back to what it used to be, in those days, we have foreign students in UNN, Ibadan, people coming from all parts of the world to come to our universities. In those days, the UCH, people travel from all parts of Africa, from all different parts of the world to attend our hospitals. People who want all those things for the system to come back. I can tell you, I see a glorious moment. I see Nigeria, the kind of jubilation we had in Africa when Nigeria got their independence, when the whole of Africa celebrated that, behold, a regional power has emerged. I see that kind of Eldorado. I see that kind of system come back the day that P2B will be, will take his oath as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The whole Africa will jubilate. The whole of the world will have, because that means that we can go back to that situation that Africa expected, that role that Africa expected Nigeria to play, that we have not been able to play as a result of poor leadership. We have a leadership now that is synonymous with going to sign MOUs, and MOUs that have no force of law, that, oh my God.
All right, we just hold your thoughts. Ebo Sin, are you still online?
Yeah, I'm still online. Good evening. Here is 9 o'clock now, 9:50. Good evening, everyone. Yeah,
okay,
good evening, everyone.
Okay.
Are you hearing me now? I'm calling from Germany. I'm calling from Germany.
All right, go ahead. Good to hear from you.
Thank you very much. What I want to contribute is that actually this is exactly how I talked to my friends back in Nigeria in 2019. I told them, I make a video, I put it on internet. I told them, if you vote President Buhari, I know he's a good man, but it's not strong to do the work. Nigeria is too big. I told them, please vote the right person in 2019, because when you vote Buhari again, you will cry. And this is what happened. Everybody know what is feeling now. Then now we have a hope. Nigeria have a hope. I tell somebody now, I wish you what to wish yourself, because this now everybody is seeing it clear that some of the leaders in Nigeria don't wish well for Nigeria. How can you have a candidate like the governor of Cross River State, the governor of Ebonyi, the governor of young people, and vote the man you know that is weak? Then how can you have a person like Wike and many people, and you go for Atiku? Then you know that Nigeria, some of them don't wish well for us. So now what we are begging them is that, please, daddy, mommy, youth, everybody, we have opportunity to make this country better. Like the other person said, jubilation the day Peter Obi will be sworn in. In fact, many people in this Europe, America, everywhere, they are praying for Peter Obi to swear it. They will come back home. I'm telling you, even me, if Nigeria is good today, I will come back home. Because here that we are now, I can say that sometimes you go to supermarket and the children will be, black person, African. You are not happy. Before you renew your passport, before you renew everything, they will be talking to you anyhow. You are not happy. This is not our country. So the only thing let me tell you one thing now. The Northerners doesn't like Tinubu. I speak very good Hausa. I listen to what they are saying. Why they go for Tinubu? Why they are rushing Tinubu? Because they know his health. Let me tell you the truth. They know his health. Why are they going for Muslim ticket? Then they know his health, and we are advising Tinubu as our own. He should be careful, because those people want to put him there, and they will do something, one or two things, so that their own person will become president. They said it now. They said he's sick. They said, I used to listen to them, all those imam. I used to listen to them. So they said that the reason why they are going for Tinubu, because, look, in Lagos now, the Muslim mosque is separate. In Sokoto, where I was born, the Muslim Yoruba mosque is separate. If you are a Muslim and you are a Yoruba man, they didn't allow you to go to their mosque. They will put your mosque, they call it Masalachi Yorubawa. That's what they call the mosque. So you see that they didn't like anybody, they didn't like us. But the only thing is that now it's not about religion. Now it's not about a tribe, where you come from and everything. We just want Nigeria to be good. I'm begging everybody that will listen to this, I beg them with God, because if anything happens, let them not start crying like now, this time around. Let them just face what they want to face. But we are begging them, please, because of God, make the right choice. Tinubu himself is just telling people that he just wants to spend even one day in that seat to have his name on the record that he's a president of Nigeria. That's what he wants. He didn't want anything. He know. So why are we killing ourselves when we have somebody like me? I didn't even know Peter Obi. I was born and brought up in North. I'm an orphan. I didn't even have parents. So, but the only thing is that I don't even know what will bring me back to Nigeria. But the only thing I'm begging Nigerian people, please and please, look at Peter Obi. The difference is clear. You can't even compare them. Atiku, when you ask Atiku, he will say he want to take power from APC and everybody. When you ask Tinubu, he will say, it's my turn. It's my turn. Nigeria have become my turn. I want to take power. Look at when I went to Nigeria, if you go to North from Katsina down to Sokoto, they have the most poorest people in the world. Some people drink water to sleep. Some people drink fura and nono to sleep.
All right.
Then now, then now, those people, when time comes, they will deceive them. Let me tell you one thing. One imam is saying this imam is from Kaduna. He was saying, why Christians are saying go and get your PVC? We want to vote Muslim out. that all Muslims should wake up, that this is a challenge for Muslims. Can you imagine what they are teaching their people? It's not fair. We want better in the south, in the east, and everywhere. They are not poor like the north, but the north are the south and they are the one fighting for them. Why can't they listen to people and let everybody just? In fact, sometimes I will just be crying here that I am. Not that I didn't have. I have everything I want, but when I reason the way life is in Nigeria, there's a day my friend had an accident that time, we rushed him to hospital, and they told us to go and look for money. That before they would do whatever. Before you know, the guy leg was cut off because the leg become black. It changed color. They said they must look for money before I see. But here where I am now, I'm telling you as I'm talking to you, if I call ambulance before 2 seconds, they will be here. Before they will check, they will look for my insurance card. Before they will ask for my insurance card, they will treat me first. But we take somebody to hospital. They said we should go and look for money in Nigeria by then. Before we go and look for the money.
Thank you. Let's take someone else as well. We just run out of time. Thank you very much, Ebosin, joining us from Germany. We appreciate you for joining. Franklin Ositadema, are you still there?
Yeah, yes, I am.
All right, Franklin, where are you calling from?
Scotland.
Scotland. All right. Franklin calling from Scotland. Go ahead.
Well, from your caption there, whether P2B is being overrated or underrated, I think the answer is people are absolutely underrating him. Or maybe they're not underrating him, but they are pretending to underrate him. Why do I say that? Now, I think everyone's been giving some reactions with the Kwankwaso interview on Channels Television. But clearly, I think what I saw was a man who is trying to, who was filled with defense mechanisms, trying to make himself seem more relevant than he is. And going forward, after looking at that interview, whatever perception I had about Mr. Rabiu Kwankwaso, with all due respect, it sort of dropped. And it's not because of anything, but because the conversation he had, instead of him to have taken himself principally into the equation, he was bringing region into it. When he made a statement like that, if he deputizes P2B, that the Northerners will not vote him. That the Northerners will not vote P2B. Now, what is the guarantee that even if P2B were to deputize him in the next 8 years, that he will have the capability to convince the Northerners to vote him? I mean, what would have changed by then? So there is no guarantee. Now, I don't think that alliance is going to fly, and I hope it doesn't. Why? Because if it doesn't, that alliance doesn't fly, we will have a sort of a robust, election season. Why? Because it will now be a test of popularity. And this popularity, first of all, the first stage of it will be a question of how popular are you within your region. Now, yes, you can say that the Southeast, definitely, because the Southeast has only 5 states, unlike the other region. But then again, even from that geopolitical perspective, if there's one person who absolutely has a lockdown, so if there are 2 people who have lockdown from their geopolitical zones, it's only 2 people, and it is Peter Obi, one, and Atiku Abubakar. I wouldn't call Tinubu because Lagos State, as of now, we are not sure if Tinubu is going to win Lagos. Why? Because there are loads of politicians, a young population in Lagos State. And this young population of people who are in Lagos State, they are internet savvy. Most tweets And most video clips, comedy clips that you see online, flooding online, they are generated, most of them in Lagos State. So even as of now, you cannot for sure say that Tinubu can lock down Lagos. So the whole of Southwest, apart from the other Yoruba states, yes, he will win the other Yoruba state, but Lagos is up for grabs, and Obi is most likely to win Lagos state in a free and fair situation. Now you move to Northwest, where you now have your Kwankwaso. Now, Kwankwaso is very strong in Kano State, no doubt. But if Tinubu goes ahead to make the sort of move he plans to make, because I've seen a video where some APC Northerners are asking him to choose El-Rufai. Now, El-Rufai is strong also in Kaduna State. So if El-Rufai, even if push comes to shove, but then again, it tells you that even Rabiu Kwankwaso does not have the whole of Northwest. So he is not as strong as he thinks he is. And do not forget that in Kaduna State, there are lots of Christians who will not want to see a repeat of a Muslim president. That is a Muslim ticket. So that puts Rabiu Kwankwaso at a disadvantage because he cannot promise, he's not assured of getting all the votes, winning in all the northwestern states. Now that leaves us with certain states which are for grabs. South. We all know that half of South, majority of South are Igbos. And trust me, Okowa can never beat a Peter Obi in the South.
This election is not just about Peter Obi. It is about the Nigerian people who want to recover their country, who want to take over their country, and ensure that the right leadership is involved. In fact, as of today, the Peter Obi is just a symbol of the struggle, but the struggle is the Nigerian struggle. The body you see is the body of Peter, but the spirit inside is the spirit of the Nigerian youth, the spirit of over 100 million poor people, the spirit of the downtrodden, the spirit of people who are yearning for freedom, the people who are yearning for equity, justice, and fair play in this country, people who feel that Nigeria, the biggest black nation, yet the poorest, people who feel that the dignity of man should be restored in the African man, in the Nigerian. So people who aspire that the founding fathers, all the visions of our founding fathers can be realized, are people who have taken over the spirit of Peter. So is anybody in this struggle who looks at Peter as Peter Obi will be wasting time and will really miss it out. You will underrate him. But the people that have overtaken Peter, in fact, the struggle is in such a way now that Peter can no longer control it. It's only that he has made himself available to be used by the Nigerian people. And I'm sure at the proper time, the Nigerian people will come out and demonstrate that enough of that. That we're happy, we're delighted that we now have a very strong legal framework, and that INEC has promised Nigerians a very peaceful and credible election, and that we still urge all the security agencies, please do your job professionally, as far as, especially as we come down to the Osun election. And then the issue of vote buying. We'll keep addressing it. We want to see a day that a very major election, it will be cancelled or annulled in this country as a result of vote buying. And then everybody will learn that vote buying is against the law of the land.
All right. Are you there? Hello? Hello?
Hello, yeah, I'm here.
All right. Just 60 seconds. Your last thought.
What I want to say is more than 60 seconds, because, I wanted to talk about, like, for example, someone came here on this platform and said, oh, Tinubu cannot get votes from maybe Lagos. You don't know Yoruba people and you don't understand Yoruba people. They will vote him. He controls the whole Southwest. Yoruba people will just close their nose and vote for Tinubu because Omowa, he is Omowa. He is one of us. He is our representative, good or bad. They will vote him. So if you are seeing some Yoruba people saying, oh, Peter Obi, that final day, when it's time for them to thumbprint and they see Tinubu and Peter Obi, their Yoruba-ness will kick in. I'm just telling you that. And you say, oh, maybe the youths are enlightened. You see them on internet. Well, Sowore has tried that. How many votes did he get? Okay, you may say Peter Obi is different. But who really has this PVC? Who has had this PVC before the final date? The people selling sugarcane, the people selling pepper, the Agberos. They've had their PVC since. They've had their PVC ready. They were not waiting till the final date. Those are the people voting. Those Iyaoloja, those are the people voting. If you say, oh, Atiku has not, Atiku does not have the not. Who has been donating where every time they had crisis? Who has been dropping 50 million? It is Tinubu. Okay, you may say, oh, maybe he had this with him, but Peter Obi has taken that away from him. So his votes are divided. The youths do not have PVC. Okay, even the youths that have PVC that are even educated, for example, in Ekiti, they recorded themselves selling their votes. And I am from Ekiti. I know my people, and the educated ones, they sold their vote. In fact, they got the PVC to sell the votes. Maybe some people come here on this platform and don't understand the kind of poverty that is going on in Nigeria. Or maybe you've not been to Nigeria in a long time. Or maybe you don't know what poverty is again because you've been so far away from it. You don't know what poor people will do. People don't think logically when they are poor. People are not going to sit. It's when you've had a full breakfast that you can sit down to think logically. So let's just move on from that youth narrative. So, and some people are coming and say, oh, the struggle for Peter Obi is so much. But who are really the ones claiming this? It's mostly people from the Southwest. I don't see my people from Ekiti shouting Peter Obi. I don't see my people from Oyo shouting Peter Obi. I've not seen any campaign in Lagos. I've not seen any campaign in the North. So when you say, oh, the struggle is there, the struggle is real, yes, it's because the Southeast has finally had a good candidate, which I've been encouraging since, instead of this, what was happening before. But it is too late, unfortunately. There will still be vote buying, as we can see in Ekiti. People have not changed yet. And those are the educated ones. How many people are now educated that have PVC? Let's come back to reality. This is how we solve our problems. So, is Peter Obi overrated or underrated? He's underrated yet, but he came in too late. PDP should have given him that presidential spot. But what played out there is nepotism. What they've been complaining about and marginalization. That is what played out in PDP. So PDP is gone. They are gone. Peter Obi has divided PDP's vote. They will never be the same again.